Games, he's Big King Kellen. Welcome back to another tale. Today we are going to be reacting to Darth Vader versus Obito Uchiha.
Yep. Now, last time when we went off, I did say this would be a shit stomp, and for the most part, it still might be. Because if anybody can remember Obi-Wan versus Kakashi, it kind of ended, well, not so well for Naruto. Not so well for Naruto fans. I'm not trying to base because Darth Vader and Obi-Wan are two completely different people in the Star Wars universe. Same with Obito and Kakashi. I'm not trying to compare the two. But if Darth Vader is able to contend with Obi-Wan, then I'm pretty sure he could easily be able to contend with Obito.
Exactly.
But I am honestly going to go with my boy Obito. Because why not? Because Naruto's my favorite anime, and I can't dismay on my boy Naruto. So I'm just going to hope that Obito has something that can give him a win or something. Because I will say, if they do give him access to the 10 Tails' power, that might actually close the gap a bit, in my opinion. But I'm not sure by how much. That being said, I don't know much about Darth Vader, because I don't know exactly what version of Darth Vader they're going to use, because there's the non-canon shit, and then the canon shit, you know, and all that
And there's
crap.
also,
Because, you got Star Wars Legends.
I just realized something.
What?
Technically speaking, Darth Vader has a counter to, the Kamui.
Well, again, he doesn't have the Kamui. Kakashi uses the Kamui. Obito fucking teleports around using this ability. He doesn't necessarily use it on his opponents. Since when have we ever used it on his opponents outside of him teleporting?
On his opponents, I'm saying for him to teleport, if you were to teleport away for a second mid-battle or some shit.
Well, Darth Vader can easily just sense his presence with the Force.
Not just that, also, he can't even teleport or go,
vast distances.
Intangible for one reason.
Well, he can be intangible. He's been intangible before.
No, he's intangible, probably could. But I don't think he could go to the Kamui dimension because all Darth Vader would have to do is straight force pull him and choke him and couldn't do much in that regard. But let's see how this goes.
You got 6 seconds?
Yep.
Alright, then let us start this up in 3, 2, 1, go.
I mainly want to see who's next, because I already know how this is going to go.
Obito Uchiha, secret leader of the Akatsuki.
Prime examples of how you could die a hero or live long enough to become a villain.
He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
That is true.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle. A long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away, the Iron Fist of the Galactic Empire ruled everything.
All thanks to the super powerful super murderer Darth Vader. But beneath his spooky mask lay the husk of former nice guy Anakin Skywalker.
As a child among the harsh wastes of Tatooine, Anakin longed to one day free his fellow slaves as a heroic Jedi.
Lucky for him, he met Qui-Gon Jinn, a Jedi who believed little Annie was the chosen
Just like
one
the
and
Jedi
would
himself
balance
and
to the
Sam.
Force. No pressure, right? So he took him under his wing to become the papa he never had. Or so was the plan, until... yeah.
Instead, Qui-Gon's apprentice became Anakin's mentor. But while Anakin sought a father figure, Obi-Wan saw him as more of a brother.
I'm sure that won't cause any awkward tension whatsoever.
Drama and trauma aside, Anakin quickly became a powerful Jedi. He excelled in lightsaber combat and the Force, an energy field that binds all living things together.
The Force lets Jedi move stuff with their mind, fend off mental attacks, predict the future, and make people believe these aren't the droids they're looking for. They're
Predict the
basically space
future.
wizards.
Aw.
Through rigorous training
Well, yeah,
and not
they- yeah,
unnoticeable
that's a-
natural
yeah,
talent,
they said
Anakin
that
was
they could do
particularly
that
skilled
before.
in the Form 5 lightsaber fighting styles.
You'd have to be
Shin
more
and
powerful
Jinso.
to do that.
Also
Stuff,
known as the way
Like, I
of
think,
the
like,
Great
on
Dragon.
Yoda's level.
You know that big sand dragon Mando blew up from the inside? Yeah, make that a lightsaber.
Form 5 is
Oh.
incredibly
Oh,
versatile,
yeah, duh.
well suited for defending against lightsaber and blaster alike. It focuses on blending parries with devastating counterattacks, aiming to win duels through overwhelming pressure.
Perfect for the Padawan who just bulldozed his way through training to become a Jedi Knight.
Even as a newly knighted Jedi, Anakin could keep up with some of the most experienced Jedi Masters and Sith Lords of his time.
But he had plenty of other problems to deal with, like his late-blooming rebellious teenage angst. I mean, you don't just throw a kid into Space Monk School and expect him to forget everyone he ever cared about, right? Well, apparently that's what he was supposed to do.
The life of a Jedi can be difficult and cold, something Anakin could not accept. And so, rather than let his secret wife die in childbirth, he was seduced to the dark side through the promise of power.
And so began his Jedi kill streak, until Obi-Wan gave him a glorious lava bath. How
I have the high
refreshing.
ground.
But thanks to his new Sith Master Palpatine, our young warrior was saved, reborn,
Yeah,
rebuilt.
but
He was now Darth Vader.
Vader is
Yeah,
a badass.
in a suit that
Everyone
torments
knows
him
it,
to
and
keep him
they're
in line.
terrified of him.
yeah, exactly. I was about to say that
just
suit
look at
keeps
the
him in
guy.
line.
As impressive as his armor
it's
appears,
old,
you might be
outdated.
surprised by its
And weak to
quirks.
lightning.
See, while the Jedi
Yes.
view the Force as an ally, the Sith see it as a tool from which they draw power through passion and emotion. Most potently, negative emotions. Palpatine trained Vader by not only making him believe he killed his wife, but also ensuring he would never forget the monstrous machine he had become.
By making the suit suck ass and piss him off. Seriously, Vader hates this suit.
The armor
Exactly.
would beep at random times just to annoy him, and the life support system was outdated from the start. Sometimes it would even turn off for several minutes.
That doesn't seem good for someone with burnt up lungs.
And it was so heavy and clunky that he could barely walk. Sometimes even
they're really
resorting to
including
moving
that
himself
meme.
with the Force.
Oh man, I knew
These are funny.
Palpy was evil,
Different
but I never
smarts.
knew he was such
Yes.
a dick.
Well, despite these
Not
issues,
possible,
the
dude, for
armor
Death
fulfilled
Battle.
its true purpose, crafting Darth Vader into the equivalent of a slasher movie villain commanding a galactic army.
Nobody wants
a
to
TIE
mess
fighter?
with him. Thanks to the dark side
Yeah.
of the Force.
I mean, I know he
can
does,
make
but
maelstroms
does he
that
really need to have
blast
access to this?
everything away,
Like-
form barriers that shield from all sorts of attacks, and
No,
choke anything
that'd be
that's even a
overkill.
minor inconvenience. Hell, sometimes he skips straight to crushing your lungs.
One time, a droid named I-5 tried to kill Vader with a laser stated to move 300,000 kilometers per second.
C-3PO
That's
looking
light
ass.
speed, and Vader easily blocked it.
And for as much bullshit as Palpatine threw at him, Vader was tough enough and stubborn enough to push through it.
Palpatine knew that Vader would eventually try to kill him and take over the Empire. It's how the Sith work. So he constantly fanned Vader's hatred by sending assassins after him to make sure he was still worthy of being his apprentice.
Oh, that's nothing. One time, he blasted off most of Vader's robo limbs, destroyed his armor, dropped him back on the lava planet, and told him to make his way back without the Force.
An impossible task, yet one Vader accomplished.
Yeah, 'cause he really wants to kill Palpatine.
And that hatred is apparently useful in keeping Force wielders alive, and has sustained many Sith in conditions that would otherwise kill them.
Yeah,
I'm sorry,
Darth Maul.
Liam Neeson. Should have hated a little more.
Vader has killed hundreds, possibly thousands of Jedi, including Obi-Wan himself.
Okay, that's
He's
because he
fought
allowed.
entire
Okay,
armies on
okay,
his
okay.
own.
Hold up. They
He's
can't
taken
say
armies
that.
the size
They
of
allow. He
mountains.
allowed him.
He's so unstable.
They can't count that.
Assassin
They can't
droid
count
had
that.
to kill him, quit the job, because he calculated that Vader was impossible to kill.
And in Ewoks material from the old Legends canon, a real deep cut, we know, lesser dark side users like the Night Sister Shiral overpowered the Sun Star, an ancient artifact capable of shifting moons, a feat which would require energy worth over 12 septillion tons of TNT.
That's 24 zeros. But if you want something more recent, here's a planet blowing up while Vader was on it, and he's fine.
Damn.
But thanks to both his incredible power and the mercy and trust of his secret son, Vader would eventually avenge the atrocities of Palpatine. Even more important, he finally saved someone he loved. Ultimately, Anakin Skywalker truly did bring balance to the Force.
I don't know.
After destroying it. but, you know,
Hokage, the leader of the Hidden Leaf Village and their strongest ninja,
Alright.
respected and loved by
see what
all.
Obito has.
Though few have attained this title, many have strived for it.
One such striver,
Oh, yeah.
sadly lacking in parents, wanted to both help people and be acknowledged by the rest of the village.
That's
And
fucked
what
up.
better way to do that than having your face carved into a mountain? If you think I'm talking about Naruto, guess again! This is the story of Obito Uchiha!
Obito unfortunately lacked the natural talent for ninja arts attributed to his Uchiha bloodline.
So he signed up for ninja school and eventually joined a team with his rival Kakashi, his crush Rin, and their leader Minato. Where do you think I could get into a ninja school
Lord
like that?
Mizukage.
Not one that teaches you to
That's one of
harness
his
this
aliases?
form of chakra, a limited form of physical
Yeah?
and spiritual energy that
I remember
exists
that.
inside all human beings and, naturally, can be be
wow.
weaponized.
He could use it to run up walls
Yeah,
and
he
make
killed
clones
the-
of himself. But even better,
Well, I know he
Kid
killed the
Ball.
Shit up.
Mizukage, but I don't know if he
This
became the
is ninjutsu.
Mizukage.
Among its
to,
many techniques include elemental attacks,
Yeah, he
and the
hit it
Uchiha
into the
specialize
sky
in
for a
all
little
things
bit.
fire.
Big
I forgot what he was
fireballs,
doing.
small fireballs,
Kinda-
waves of fire, columns of fire, you name it, they've got
Yes, access
it.
to
So
fire.
when Ninja World War III came along, it totally made sense to get this fire ninja involved at the age of 11. Yikes! Well, lucky for Obito,
Well, that's
he had
how the
one
Ninja
more
World
secret
works.
weapon up his sleeve, or eye socket, the Sharingan.
The Sharingan grants extremely precise vision, allowing someone to see the flow of chakra, predict an enemy's attacks, cast a variety of genjutsu illusions, and even break out of said illusions.
Too bad he didn't get to use the red eyes much. Like 10 minutes after he got the damn things, he got smushed under a big rock. What a way to go! But
Saving
since
his
he
friend,
wasn't
no.
expecting to use his super eyes anymore, he handed one off to Kakashi. And then he died. The end!
No.
Just kidding!
Miraculously, Obito survived long enough to be rescued by another Uchiha, the legendary Madara. Madara granted Obito a new body, regenerating the limbs he'd lost.
You're probably thinking, oh, what a swell guy. Except he
Oh,
was
no.
not. Madara was brewing some plans for world domination and needed a pawn to carry them out. So he tricked Obito into watching Kakashi kill Rin, making him fall victim to the Uchiha's curse of hatred.
Within the Uchiha clan, there exists an ideal of being extremely devoted to love. It has been speculated that if a particularly powerful Uchiha loses someone important to them, that love will be replaced with an all-consuming hatred. This is how Obito awakened his Mangekyo Sharingan.
Or Red Eye 2.0. The Mangekyo gave him a new jutsu called Kamui. With it, he can suck his foes into another dimension and leave them there to die. He can even hide weapons in there until he needs them, like his gun by fan. But even better, he can phase through stuff.
Well, not quite. Kamui gives Obito the power to move through objects in a manner that's similar to the common phasing superpower akin to the Flash or Kitty Pryde. In reality, it's much more complex, as Obito is actually teleporting parts of his body into the Kamui dimension whenever they overlap with other
See,
matter.
I kind of figured that's
See,
what he was
there's
doing.
his body parts right there.
Well, if it looks like a duck and talks like a duck, it's phasing. Hands up! Yeah! Way later on, he also got another super eye. Man, he's really swapping these things around like a Prime sub on Twitch.
This Rinnegan grants Obito the power of the 6 paths, giving him some nifty abilities like controlling gravity with the Deva path, ripping out souls with the human path, and summoning giant monsters with the animal path.
With all of the awful stuff he'd gone through, Obito realized that the ninja world was corrupt to its core. His dream of everyone being happy and working together was never gonna happen. So instead, he agreed to carry out Madara's Giga Brain plan to control everything.
Donning masks and multiple personas, he recruited a number of rogue shinobi to form the Akatsuki terrorist group and kicked off Ninja World War IV, all to revive the monstrous Ten Tails.
I know what you're thinking. Wasn't the whole point of this to stop war in the first place? And that's a very good question. Anyway, the Ten Tails!
A living mass of near
That's a
inexhaustible
great
chakra,
question.
The Ten Tails possesses tremendous
Anyways, look how big
power.
this monster
It can create
is.
massive thunderstorms and hurricanes, multiple clones of itself, and the devastating tailed beast bomb.
Forget bomb! That's basically a super nuke! This chakra ball is so explosive, it can eclipse continents and reduce mountains to dust.
Comparing the surface area of this blast to the surrounding mountains, dispersing that much mass within a fraction of a second must have yielded a kinetic energy worth over 13 septillion tons of TNT.
That's 24 zeros! Again, Obito wanted that power for himself and was willing to throw hands with anyone to get it. He's held up against master ninjas like Kakashi, Minato, and even Naruto in his Monster Energy drink form, which could outmaneuver the fastest attack from the Lightspeed Raikage.
And he far surpassed
No,
all of them when he finally
but the-
sealed the Ten Tails within
Raikage's
himself,
not Lightspeed.
becoming
Yeah,
its
he is.
Jinchuriki. This little makeover granted him unlimited flight, power rivaling
Lightning
the
is
legendary
considered
Sage
li-
of Six
a
Paths,
Lightspeed.
and the truth-seeking orbs.
These special little bowling balls can
The return
shapeshift
stroke
into
going
any
up.
form the
You
user
know that
wants,
return stroke
like a
that you see,
staff,
that bolt of
giant
flash?
arms,
That's
an
light
umbrella
speed.
thing, or this crazy
Raikage is
spiral
considered to be
blade
that
apparently helped shape the whole world. Oh, holy shit, it's huge!
The truth-seeking orbs can completely disintegrate anything they touch at both a molecular and spiritual level. Only those with the power of the 6 paths can resist their effects.
Plus, with the single monster in his system, Obito's regeneration got amped to the point where he could survive having half of his body Control-Alt-Delete it away. All cards in his hand, he was ready for the final stages of the Giga Plan.
He summoned the God Tree and prepared to launch the Infinite Tsukuyomi, a powerful illusion that would trap the entire world in a never-ending dream, free of conflict and sorrow.
But the violent cruelty of the ninja world could only quiver in fear when the anime protagonist walked in the room. After getting 1-2'd by some talk no jutsu, Obito saw within Naruto the spirit of his former self, someone who was always trying to help others. And they say his heart grew 3 sizes that day.
Obito joined Naruto and Kakashi in saving the world, giving his life to protect his friends. And in his last moments, he entrusted them with reaching the dream he had so long ago, to become Hokage, of which they both succeeded.
Though he may have lost his ninja way, Obito Uchiha overcame his hatred and helped realize the world he wanted.
Yeah, Boruto can fuck off.
Again?
Okay, pause. Alright.
What?
Nothing. I'm gonna go with Obito. I have to, man.
I'm going with facts, and it's just Darth Vader. I've tried to think about it any other way before this battle.
Well, I
Everything
mean,
that comes
10
to my head.
tails, again, if you use that, you might have a shot. That's what I'm hoping for.
Has a shot.
Hey, a pretty good shot, okay? Head to 1408.
On there.
Okay. Oh boy.
I'm just saying the only reason why is because if history repeats itself,
Okay, fucking Michael.
Kashi was getting a. In the end, in the beginning it seemed fair, and then Kakashi was getting a.
Yeah,
Stop.
I know. I
Bye.
know. You ready?
Obi-Wan. Yeah, I'm ready.
Alright, 1408. Let's get this
Yeah.
in. I'm going for Obito. You're going for Darth Vader.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, now let's start this up. And 3, 2, 1, go.
All right, the combatants are set. We've run the data through all possibilities.
It's time for a death battle!
I sense your fear, your anger, and a power. I will be taking it. That power will save this cursed world. You'll have to pry it from my cold, dead hands. Then you will die. What? All too easy. I
No.
expected more. I won't disappoint.
The animation's cool.
The animation is good, yeah. What the fuck?
Shit.
You've lost your humanity as well.
On the path of the dark side, it is inevitable. Impressive.
We survived letting up the planet exploding, and I think Vader's fine.
No.
Oh! Oh!
I guess he would use his
Accept this gift and die.
Too late.
Oh no.
He fell victim to the infinite Tsukuyomi!
You are liberated from hell. Find peace in the next life.
No way. No fucking way. My boy won!
Well,
What are you talking
he
about?
was able to beat Obi-Wan, but he just couldn't handle Obi-2.
This was a fairly complex matchup. Both Darth Vader and Obito were roughly
Oh,
even
yeah.
in power and speed, so it truly came down to their skill and arsenals.
And boy, did they have some deep bags of tricks. Even some of the same tricks.
Pause. Okay, Darth Vader. Could
That's
crush
just me.
could crush
that just means
Obito's
something.
body and eyes. Could match or counter most jutsu. Superior precognition. Little defense against the truth-seeking orbs, and inferior survivability. While for Obito, more versatile in powers and options, greater regeneration and survivability, multiple ways to bypass Vader's durability, and greater mobility and area of effect. He has less combat experience. It's the only minus that Obito has.
Mm-hmm. But there's one thing that makes no sense then about this.
And what's that?
Technically speaking, you know what that means then?
Well, he could have pulled the Infinite Tsukuyomi off easily at any point of the fight. He just had to wait until it was ready.
No, not that. You know what this means?
What?
Wouldn't that technically mean... That makes no sense then, because they're equal.
Well, the Infinite Tsukuyomi is a lot more powerful than the type of genjutsu that Kakashi has access to. Especially since Kakashi doesn't have access to a fucking Ten Tails mode. Obito does.
No, I know. I'm just saying. Wouldn't that make Kakashi, like, significantly weaker than Obito, yet he was manhandling Obito in his fight? They're pretty even.
Well, combat-wise, skill-wise is what I'm actually trying to say. Skill-wise, like, yes. But power-wise, they said that apparently Obi-Wan just had much more to take from. Because, actually, no, they were correct because Darth Vader can easily just crush Obito's inner organs and eyes. He did so during the fight.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not about the fact that Darth Vader can't use... Because he could use the Force to crush Obito's body. Oh, he could easily do that. I think Obito, once after he feels that parts of his body is getting crushed, he could just teleport that part of the body to the other area, which I think is what they're going to explain.
Mm-hmm.
But
Let's continue this.
where are you at?
1820.
Alright, let's continue on in 3, 2, 1, go.
Both could fend off mental attacks. Both could move things around with their minds. And they both even had options to instantly kill each other.
Vader could simply force crush Obito's body, but Obito could just as easily rip out Vader's soul. However, Obito had a few more impressive options available to him, edging out just enough to earn a win.
For starters, Kamui made Obito extremely difficult just to touch, let alone injure. And as a Jinchuriki, he could regenerate from half of his body getting destroyed. While the dark side could help Vader survive extreme conditions, it obviously can't regrow limbs.
Plus, thanks to his wide array of jutsu,
Okay, they
Obito
said that
would
while
eventually
Vader can
overwhelm
resist some
Vader.
mental mind
While
attacks, if
chakra
it's
may
too
normally
strong,
be a
he
limited
can't,
source of
you know,
energy,
resist it.
unlike the Force. The Ten
And the
Tails
Infinite
provided
Tsukuyomi is
Obito with
apparently,
an unlimited
you know.
supply. And since chakra is
Almost
both spiritual
unlimited.
and physical energy, this means Obito would be able to fight on indefinitely.
Last but not least, Vader's preference for lightsaber combat means that he'd be up close and personal with Obito, right? Which left him vulnerable to getting disintegrated by one of the many truth-seeking
This is
orbs.
very true
or
as well.
even worse, sucked up into the Kamui dimension. Yeah, don't forget about that. Not only would he have no way out, he probably wouldn't even be able to tap into the Force while stuck there. Game
Really?
over. Have fun starving to death, I guess. Wonder how long you can feed on hate.
Darth Vader may have had a tenacity that
Really?
few
I did
others
not
could
know
match,
that.
But
That's
against
interesting
Obito's
to think
similar
about.
might, busted regeneration, and overwhelming range of abilities.
Wow, so even
there
the
was
Kamui
no
dimension
escape.
can build a...
In the
Wow.
end, Vader's victory just wasn't meant to be.
The winner is Obito Uchiha.
Oh yeah, my boy won! I'm
Stay tuned
so
for the Death
happy!
Battle releasing every 2 weeks this
Oh,
year.
I'm so
And click
sorry
the
that
button
I
to get
fucking
new
doubted you,
batch of extra
Obito.
content. Planet level members even see death battles before
Let's
anyone
see
else,
who's
so don't
next,
miss out.
though. Who?
Oh, Phoenix? Oh, Phoenix versus Raven? Oh, let's
I'm
go.
actually excited.
Let's go. I'm
Raven-
actually kind of
Raven
excited
is
for that.
great.
Yeah, Raven's cool. And plus, Phoenix has been referenced a lot throughout Death Battle as like feats from other people. So I am very interested to see what Phoenix has up her sleeve.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know who's gonna win, only because the most that we've seen Raven's been on Death Battle before, by the way. She went up against Twilight Sparkle.
Mm-hmm.
She won. Not Twilight Sparkle. Raven won. But Phoenix has not been in Death Battle before, so this is going to be an interesting matchup. Who do I think will win? Again, not sure. I've only ever seen Phoenix a handful of times, and the only handful of times that I've seen Phoenix has been in the X-Men films. The not good ones. Or, okay, they're somewhat good, but they're not good at being accurate to the comics, is what I'm trying to get at. So, so yeah, I don't know the full power of Phoenix, and I don't know the full power of Raven, because all I've also seen of Raven is Teen Titans and some of the other media. Well, not media, but some of the other stuff that she's been in. Like Justice League, to some games, you know, all that kind of crap. But that's about it, but I don't know about, like, her full power.
Mm-hmm.
But, what do you think? What do you think on that?
It was good. Didn't go the way I was thinking.
Were you pleasantly surprised? Because I was pleasantly surprised.
I was surprised because I was thinking about it and I'm like...
The way that What?
But then I realized something.
What?
I'm not surprised, really, anymore. You know why?
Why is that?
Darth Vader's been constantly getting manhandled. Now that I think about it, he never
Well,
truly
by
wins.
Sidious. He only
Not
gets
just
manhandled by
Sidious.
Sidious.
No,
When he faces
no.
other...
Not just Sidious. He faced and he could beat most any other Jedi, but, well, of course, besides his son, and a few exceptions.
Well, the only reason why he can beat his son is because the light side was getting to him.
I know, but most of the people he's fought...
But didn't he actually legitimately fight Obi-Wan again after he became Darth Vader and lost?
Yeah?
Because of the Obi-Wan TV show? Because I heard that they
Yeah.
fought in the Obi-Wan TV show.
Yeah, they fought, and that was a sick fight. That fight was
And
fucking
didn't
cool.
Obi-Wan... I mean, he didn't necessarily win, but didn't he, like, deal enough damage to Vader to the point where he just ran for now?
Yeah. He only cut off his mask, too.
But, that fight was good. I loved everything that they did. Everything that they did as far as Obito and Darth Vader seemed to make sense. Everything that they did point out for Obito also kind of didn't make sense, other than them saying specifically outright that Obito can fight indefinitely. That is not true. Even with... Because the form that... Because sure, he is a Jinchuriki of the Ten Tails when he has access to that form, but it's never been completely stated that you have access to an unlimited amount of chakra. Considering that the tailed beasts themselves, outside the Ten Tails, have an unlimited amount of chakra, meaning that the Ten Tails would easily be able to run out of chakra after a certain amount of time. So you can still give him, like, you know, like he would be able to outfight Vader, but he wouldn't be able to fight indefinitely. I'll definitely say that much for Darth Vader's case. And for Darth Vader's case as well, I think his precognition actually is definitely a lot better than the Uchiha's precognition. Absolutely. But what I am the most pleasantly surprised by is what they said, that the Force cannot be used in that alternate dimension. I'm actually pleasantly surprised about that. I did not think that could actually be something that could happen, not gonna lie. The Force does exist across dimensions such as hyperspace, but commonly specifically disconnected from other realities, and obviously not associated with the Star Wars universe, providing little reason to assume the Force would exist within it. Okay, that's why. So they kind of just like, well, it's actually, that does make sense, because we don't know, because the Force is never brought up in Naruto, so we can't exactly give Naruto the benefit of the doubt that they have the Force in it, right?
And you also gotta realize one thing too.
What?
The Kamui is an alternate dimension. It makes sense that different shit happens in it because it's not in our dimension.
Which is very
Our
true as
reality.
well. I mean, well, because it's a different dimension, but it's a dimension in the case that it's made by... It was made, I think, when that fucking eye was created.
Mm-hmm.
It's fucking weird. The fucking Sharingan eyes are fucking weird. But
Exactly.
anyways, though, I pleasantly enjoyed this death battle.
Same.
And I'm excited for the next one. But, I mean, kind of. Like, I'm not against Raven versus Phoenix, but I was hoping for something, I don't know. Like, I was hoping for Bill versus Discord or Cole McGrath versus Alex Mercer. Because I really want one of those fights to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Which one preferably do I want to happen? Cole McGrath versus Alex Mercer, only because I already know who's going to win for Bill versus Discord.
Mm-hmm.
But, anyways, though, any lasting stuff you want to leave off on?
Nope.
Then I guess that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, please leave a like and subscribe.
And check
to our-
us on every other social media. TikTok, Instagram, eventually Twitter.
And
shit
comment
like that.
down below what other videos you guys would like for us to react to, play video games to, and or talk about on our podcast channel. Link to that will be down below when we figured out the podcast. And yeah, that being said, we are your Crypt Keepers, and do come back for another tale, guys. See ya.